I really need to make this video. I have wanted to make this video for 2 weeks now, and with what's going on with this whole, I think her name's Essena issue, I feel like I cannot put this video off any longer. I have to say something. If it is not clear to you by now, I am very passionate and I am very upset about what I'm talking about today. And this is not a video response to Essena because, I think that's her name, right? This is not a video response to her because honestly, I could care less. Nothing against her, but this isn't about her. This is about YouTubers who have been responding to this whole thing about social media. This is specifically about an ongoing problem that I've seen in the community because this is not just a one-time thing. This is something that I've seen over and over and over again. Like I said, I've wanted to make this video for 2 weeks and I finally am just so over it that I'm making it. I am sick of seeing creators shitting on other creators. Specifically, I am sick of seeing what we would call small YouTubers or people who maybe aren't necessarily YouTube famous shitting on famous or big YouTubers. I'm sick of seeing it. It's so far past, I'm so done. Stop doing it. Why are you shitting on people just because they're quote unquote more famous or more successful than you? There seems to be a few sides to this story. On the one hand, we have smaller content creators, or sometimes it's fans, but for the most part, I'm talking about content creators here that I've seen doing this. You're shitting on big YouTubers and getting upset with them because for some reason you think that they aren't genuine. And while I can kind of see where you're coming from in that there are certain aspects of their lives that they maybe used to share with the internet that they don't anymore, or you think that they're putting on this facade of, oh, I'm always happy, or oh, I'm never sad, or oh, I never do this or do that, and it seems fake to you. But I think it's really important to remember that your version of genuine is not someone else's genuine. That's their journey, and you can't force someone to talk about things on their channel by saying that they're not being genuine by talking about something. Just because you are comfortable talking about something on your channel does not mean somebody else is okay putting that out there for millions to see. And just if they're sharing their happy moments or sharing their happy memories or sharing their thoughts about certain topics, that does not mean that they aren't any less genuine. You can be happy and be a genuine happy on your channel and just not share the negative sides. They don't have an obligation to share that with you or with us, and for you to expect that to them and to say that they aren't being genuine because they're choosing not to share aspects of their life that they're not comfortable sharing is a little bit rude. I'm not gonna sit here and say that there aren't YouTubers that aren't being genuine on screen because there completely are, but I think it's really, really unfair for us to generalize all of the famous YouTubers and say that all of them are being disgenuine, because I don't think that that's true. I think the overwhelming majority of the quote unquote famous YouTubers are genuine. I don't think that they would have gotten to where they are if they weren't genuine, because fans can tell when someone is not being their true self. And obviously there are going to be some that have that fan culture of screaming teenagers and they don't have the maturity level to realize that this person isn't necessarily the best person to be following. But I think the overwhelming majority of YouTubers who have made it on the platform do have a loyal following and do have a subscriber base that spans over quite a lot of people. It's not just all 13-year-olds. Not that there's anything wrong with being 13, but it's not just young people, because they are genuine on screen and people have followed them for years and have been invested in their lives. And if they weren't being genuine anymore, a lot of people would notice that and a lot of people would stop watching them. And so I think that it's really unfair to say that they're all being disgenuine, because I don't think that that's what's happening here. Another thing I've seen is people saying that large YouTubers are using their friendships in order to gain subscribers, and they are, not being genuine in their friendships with other YouTubers. And I think that this comes from the fact that YouTube is really, really cliquey. And once you get on the creator side of things, which obviously I'm like on the outskirts of that, but I've seen enough of like the inside of the YouTuber world to know what's going on there. And YouTube is very cliquey, and if you are above a certain subscriber count, it's really likely that you're going to know other people that have about the same subscribers as you do, which means that people do group together. So if you are someone with 5 million subscribers, you're going to be hanging out with other people that have that many subscribers, but it's not necessarily because you think you're superior than them. It seems to be more that the people that have that subscriber count have been on the platform around the same amount of time. If you were a YouTuber that started in 2008 that now has, 10 million subscribers, you're going to be hanging out with other YouTubers who started in 2008, most of whom also have the same amount of subscribers, and that's who you're hanging out with. Not to mention, it makes sense for you to collaborate and to work with people who have the same content as you and who have the same style and who have been on the platform as long as you have and you've gotten to know them. And I would just like to point out that I'm not going to fault YouTubers for hanging out with each other just because it is a different world, and when these people started, they never realized that they were going to be famous, and they are famous. I think that that's a fair statement, and I think that it's completely valid for them to want to hang out with other people that have shared that same experience, and that no one else will understand what they've been through, and no one else will understand what it's like to be someone who started off as a nerd on the internet that didn't even realize being a YouTuber would ever be a job, and now they're freaking famous and going on tours and writing books and doing whatever it is that the opportunities have been given to them, and I don't understand why we're upset with them for hanging out with each other. I would also like to say that for people who get upset with large YouTubers for clicking together and only hanging out with each other, smaller YouTubers do that as well. I have been to plenty of conventions in which smaller YouTubers with, again, around 100,000 to 500,000, however many subscriber counts, and obviously it's not just about subscriber count is not what matters, but I think it's an easy way to kind of divide and tell what's happening here as far as the YouTube clique. And I have seen an overwhelming majority of small content creators that band together. There's 30 of you, and you hang out together all the time, and you talk to each other, and you should stop being mad at large YouTubers for hanging out with each other and realize that you are doing the same thing and you are the next generation. You will get there. You're all gonna get there slowly. It's just, you gotta give it time. You gotta give time for the bigger YouTubers to have their opportunities, to have their moment as you move forward. And eventually it's gonna be your clique. It's gonna be your clique that is the YouTubers. You're gonna be the ones that everyone wants to hang out with. And I don't understand how you don't see that. In that you have everything they have, you just don't have the numbers. And yeah, you're not making as much money as they are, but you're the next generation and you're already doing what they did 5 years ago. And you don't see that it's happening, but if you can understand that you're hanging out with these people, not because you care about subscriber count, not because you care about, some kind of weird superiority complex. It's because they have the same life experiences as you. They have come up through the YouTube system. They have made it around the same time that you have, and you all have kind of these similar experiences of what you've been through, kind of making it on YouTube. And I think if you can understand that that's why large YouTubers hang out together. They have the same experiences, they kind of have had to go up through the same system, and you're doing the same exact thing as they are. You know that if you were as famous as they were, you would not want to be treated and talked about the way that you talk about them. And eventually you are going to be those people. You are going to make, there is going to be the next generation of YouTube, and the cliquey small YouTuber clan that we see now, they're the next ones. And that's what's gonna happen, and I'm really, really worried about that because the small YouTuber cliquey clan that I'm seeing right now are very hateful against large YouTubers and sometimes aren't necessarily appropriate, and I think that they're, trying to figure their shit out, and I hope that they figure it out real damn quick because they're all getting there really quickly, and I don't think that they're necessarily bad people. I just think that they're not thinking things through when they think about how they portray big YouTubers on the platform. And it's really quite worrying, to be quite honest. Another aspect of this argument that I've been seeing is a lot of smaller content creators think that for some reason YouTube owes them the same opportunities and owes them the same attention that the huge YouTubers got when they were first starting out. If you are a small content creator and you're upset that YouTube is not treating you the way that you want to be treated in the community, that's not a reason to shit on large YouTubers. That's not their fault. You can't be upset with a YouTuber for working within the system that they're given. You can be mad at the system, but don't be mad at people working within the system because that's their job just as much as it is yours. I think that it's really, really unfair for you to claim that it's somehow the YouTuber's fault for how YouTube treats them or for how YouTube favors them. And I think as far as going back to the fact that they were given more opportunities when they first started, They started in 2008. I'm sorry, jump in a time machine and go back to 2008 and start then. That's more a problem with yourself. You wish you had started back then. You wish that you had known back then that you could get these opportunities that you now don't have because the platform has grown. Again, that's not the YouTuber's fault. Just because they had the mindset of, I want to make cool shit 10 years ago versus you started 5 years ago, that's not their fault. That's yours, if anything else. And you shouldn't be mad at yourself, but you also shouldn't be mad at the YouTubers for just creating. If you aren't so busy worrying about other people's careers and worrying about whether other people were being genuine or worrying about whether other people were getting opportunities that you don't have, your career would be much better and you would be much happier, I think. I think that if you want to make cool shit, make cool shit. Don't worry about what YouTube is doing. Don't worry about what bigger content creators are doing. Worry about what you are doing. And if you want to make cool shit, go make it. As you can tell, I was very passionate today and I had a lot of shit to say. This probably isn't going to apply to anyone that actually watches this video, but I still feel like I had to let it all out there and air my grievances because I'm just frustrated and upset that this is happening. If you liked this ranty video, please let me know and maybe I will make more where I just turn on a camera and start screaming. I will see you guys very, very soon, hopefully with another culture video. I'm back in the United States, so I'm gonna have a ton more time to make YouTube videos. So hopefully we will see a lot more content on this channel. Let me know what you guys think and I will see you guys very, very soon.